It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster podcast. I want to start out this week's podcast by talking about an interaction I had with a white woman. So I pulled into a parking space next to Ulta, and I noticed this woman with a bumper sticker that said, "I hope Trump takes medical advice from RFK Jr." And I thought it was just great. And mind you, I live in a very liberal state, in a liberal area, but it's always good to see expressions of what we're all feeling. And so I wanted to take a picture of the bumper sticker. I got out of the car and I saw that the woman was in the car distracted, and I didn't want to just be behind her car. Well, first of all, I didn't want to be run over, but I also didn't want to startle her. And so I said, "Excuse me," and she looked at me and she had a smile on her face, seemed friendly, and I said, "I want to take a picture of your bumper sticker." And I didn't want to startle you. And she goes like, "Oh, please take a picture of my bumper sticker." And so I took the picture, and after that, and I said, "Oh, I just think it's great because you really made my day." She said, "I'm a veteran, and there was a guy who was yelling at me one day who said, 'You have that on your husband's car,' assuming that it was a husband, and also a husband who was a veteran. And she said, 'I served this country. I'm a veteran. And you're a big pussy,' basically, she told him. And I just loved her spirit. And we talked about the bumper sticker. And then she said, I got it on Etsy. And she took out her phone and she went to her app, and I helped her figure out where the purchases were on there so I could get the Etsy shop from which she purchased her bumper sticker. And she said, I am 65. I just turned 65 years old and I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. And first of all, she was beautiful. She was just a very beautiful woman. And I could tell that she was physically beautiful, but the internal beauty was definitely being shown on the outside. And I said, "You look amazing." And she said, "Thank you. But I'm 65 and I'm not holding my tongue anymore, basically." And we had a nice exchange, and she said, "You made my day." And I said, "You made my day too." And I remember walking into the store just feeling like I'd had a connection with someone just in an instant that was impactful for me. And obviously for her too, since she said, "You really made my day." She kept saying it. And I have learned a lot of things over the years. And one of the things that I have learned time and time again is that I do not trust white women. And every time that I put my trust in white women as a collective, I've been disappointed. Shall we look at the elections? Okay. I've been disappointed because so many times it has been shown over and over again that white women choose whiteness over being women. And certainly when the feminist movement was created, it was not created with me in mind. And so when I interact with a white woman who I feel like is about it, like who's about it, I'm always moved by that and supportive of that. And I cannot help but feel also angry still. Where were you when Sandra Bland was killed? Where were you when Breonna Taylor was killed? Where are you at our jobs when we are being treated unfairly? Where are you when it's time to use your voice? Where are you? And I felt in that interaction reminded that there are always those who are willing to put their neck on the line. Even in the civil rights movement, there were those white folks who came down to the South who put their bodies on the line for justice. Because what we know and what we've seen throughout history, if you know history, no one has ever just given rights. People had to fight for rights. And you fought for it and fought for it, and look, they're trying to take it away step by step. This has all been a plan. These motherfuckers have played the long game. You got the white supremacist in chief, Stephen Miller. That motherfucker, he is running this shit. And it let's not ignore the Nazi slogans and things like that have crept into this administration. We've said all along that this has all been about race. You can say it's the economy. You can go with that narrative because it makes it seem more comfortable for people. But in America, it has always been about race. Even the Latino vote has been about race because what people do when they come to this country is they want to distance themselves from blackness. They don't want to be black in America. That they don't know. They may not know a lot about American history. They may not know the language, but what they do understand, without a doubt, is that when they come to America, they want to be better than black. But what black folks have tried to say over the years is that you are in this boat with us. Will be treated the way we are treated. You are not better than black. You are black too. And now we are seeing this. This is the America we know as black people. The America that so many white people across the country right now saying, what happened to our country? This is like Germany during the Second World War. It is not. This is like America. Look at the history of America. You need not look any further than your parents or grandparents to see what we are looking at right now. We thought we had moved the needle some. But the truth is, we have not. The truth is, it is still the stain of this country, how it has treated Native Americans, and how it has treated black people. And white people have done that. You won't find a group of black people in American history who have wreaked havoc on white people, who have killed towns full of white people, who have murdered white children, but you do find that with white people. And perhaps that is some of the fear that white America has when it comes to the browning of this country and the blackening of this country, being outnumbered. There is something in the psyche of white America that has a fear that we are like them. They fear we will do to them what they have always done to us. They fear. And that fear of likeness has them trying to create a country of likeness. But as time has gone on, post Obama in particular, you started seeing the insecurity of whiteness. It's not white supremacy, it's white insecurity, and we have seen it. And when you have that insecurity and you have that fear, for what comes from that is absolute brutality and inhumanity. And we've seen it before. It is almost as if it is implanted within some folks, passed through the mother's blood, even. And so when I had that interaction with the woman at Ulta, I thought about all of those things. And I felt grateful to her that she was using her voice and had decided at 65 she didn't give a fuck. She was going to express herself. She was going to say what's on her mind. And I, as a Black woman, as a Black person in this place called America, appreciated that. And so just that little interaction gave me hope. And listen, you all, hope never dies. Know it. People die, movements die, governments die. Hope doesn't. I also really enjoyed the interaction because she was like, I'm 65 and I don't give a fuck anymore. That's something, listen, when women get to a certain age, if you are lucky, you will get to a point in womanhood where you really don't give a damn. where you understand that everything that you had been sold about what womanhood is or is not or should be, all of that is bullshit. It is what you create, it is what you are, it is what you stand in. And so I was really excited for her because she made that statement so boldly and so clear, and she was just like, I don't give a damn. Yeah, okay, sis. Don't give a damn. I love it. I love it. I support you in not giving a damn. I was looking online and I saw this woman and she was mocking this man. He was a pro ICE agitator at a rally and she was mocking him. And it was so gloriously hilarious. So hilarious. And I was like, that's a woman who knows who the fuck she is. She doesn't give a damn. She doesn't care about whatever trolls are going to say on the internet. She doesn't care how this sounds to anyone. She was mocking his dumb ass, and it was just delicious. It was glorious. It's so beautiful to see women who know who the fuck they are. I saw so many things from that interaction. And I also thought just like how beautiful it is sometimes to just have a one-on-one with someone. I love those brief moments where we can connect with other people. And whether or not we connect in terms of something funny happening, or we connect because we're on the right side of history politically, in whatever way we connect. Listen, I was in Sephora one day and I was looking for some green lipstick, and the girl was like, "Oh, we don't have green lipstick. We do have eyeliner. Maybe we can figure out something with an eyeliner." And I said, "Well, if I can find a creamy eyeliner that's in like a forest green." So we were walking around Sephora, and this young woman, she was probably, I don't know, she was petite, she was maybe 25, beautiful girl. And she grabbed an eyeliner and she drew a line on her skin, and it was the perfect color. And I was like, "Girl!" And we both exploded with laughter. We did a high five. I'm like, "That's it. That's it." Then she looked, she's like, "We don't have any." And when I tell you we died laughing, I was the real kind of laughter that black folks have. You know, that kind of laughter black folks have where we start running for no damn reason. That kind of laughter. And she was like, "Of course, we wouldn't have it." And we laughed at that. And that was just such a feel good exchange to just be these two people having a connection over forest green eyeliner that I wanted to wear as lipstick. Don't let those moments pass you by. I guess that's the whole point of what I'm saying is don't let those moments pass you by, because this is life right now. In this moment, life is not just YouTube clips. It's not just clips on TikTok or Instagram. Life is every single moment of the day. It's when you wake up and there's snow outside. It's when your favorite song comes on the radio. It's when you have that exchange with a stranger in a parking lot. And those are good times. Those are great times, actually. They're the times that are going to replay at the end of your life. When your life flashes before your eyes, let it be filled with all kinds of moments like that. And let there be fewer spaces and opportunity for motherfuckers to invade that. And here is the thing, and I'm not going to speak long about this because we all know what's going on. We're seeing it happen in real time. I still say some of y'all aren't mad enough for me. But the way it's looking, there needs to be some good old-fashioned American rage that takes over. The kind of rage that was absent before. Not only is an apathetic population a dangerous population, as we are seeing, an apathetic population is a vulnerable population. And it is amazing how little courage we see in Washington and how much courage we see out there on the streets. I see so much courage on the streets. Get it. Slowly but surely, people who believe in the promise of America are starting to wake up. But y'all ain't mad enough for me. I'm waiting on the ones who are really mad, the ones who really believe in this country, the ones who are like, "Oh, wait a goddamn minute." I'm waiting on the ones Because when the ones get really mad, nothing will stop it. I do believe that there is a new day coming in America, and that new day is not going to be run by billionaires. That new day is not going to shit on the Constitution. That new day is not going to have a Supreme Court that is bought and sold. That new day will be America for real. But until then, we got a fight on our hands. When it comes to democracy and the fight for democracy, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, baby, and I want another piece of pound cake. Let me just touch on ICE for a moment. The fuck? Okay. Here is the thing that really bothers me about ICE. I mean, there's so many things that I can discuss when it comes to ICE. When I see black and brown ICE officers, all I can do is stare. Especially the black ones. When I see the black ones, I'm like, look at your black ass. Listen. And when I see the brown ones, what? It is insane. But shout out to all the people out there who are cussing them the fuck out. Listen, I saw a video online of this man. He's a Latino man. He was an American citizen, and he was letting them know, fuck you. Dude, these are your own people that you are harming for a $50,000 bonus. They have been cussed the fuck out in the best ways. I'm always proud of somebody who can give somebody a tongue lashing. I almost felt sorry for the ICE officer. That motherfucker was shaking. He was nervous as fuck, and he had a reason to be. Because dude was like, I'm an American citizen. You're not doing this. Now people have to show that they are citizens of the United States. So we're going to be stopped. We're going to be all stopped and asked for our papers. That's what we're doing now. Be prepared. Have your passport, have your birth certificate, whatever the fuck they want you to have to prove that you belong here, even though they're going to treat you like you don't belong here anyway. Listen, I am finding my joys from the people who are giving them the tongue lashings. Did you see them totally tear up those ICE vehicles? Lord. But one thing I wanted to say for sure is those Epstein files. They must be bad. You all, those Epstein files must be bad because listen, they are throwing everything at the news cycle. He does not want those files to be released, and every day this administration is breaking the law because they were given a deadline for those files. Those Epstein files are so bad that he's like, you know what? Let's tell him we're gonna just take over Greenland because we want it. Those Epstein files have to contain urine and feces and video and chains and all kinds of shit. Those Epstein files, I would not be surprised if he's getting pegged in those files by Epstein himself. Those Epstein files are bad. No matter what happens, let nothing distract you from the fact that we have not seen those files. Listen, we got measles popping off in South Carolina. Measles. Gosh, I wish somebody could do something about that. Motherfuckers, they're vaccines. Vaccinations are bad. Y'all, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. Maybe these motherfuckers will just catch something and die the fuck off. I don't fucking know. Let me tell you guys, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, oh my goodness, I am almost a year clean from Target. Target decided to roll back its DEI at the end of January 2025. I have not been in a Target since January of 2025. Listen, if you've been clean from Target since they rolled back DEI, go ahead and put a red heart below. And also, I'm not gonna lie, when I pass by a Target and I'm always looking like, how many cars are there? Do I see any black people there? And if I have a couple of times seen a black person, I'm like, you motherfucker. I, for one, am trying to give more and more support for small businesses and for businesses who say, no matter what, this is what we believe in. And we're not changing based on the bully in the White House. We're not changing that. So let me tell you about my personal disappointment of the week. I told you guys Bruno Mars is going on tour. He has a new album that's dropping. How can you be sad listening to a Bruno Mars song, as I said? I was talking to my friend Michelle this week, and she was in the queue waiting for those concert tickets to drop because life is short. And we should all enjoy seeing Bruno Mars in concert live. Michelle texted me, and there were 7 minutes till she could purchase tickets or till the tickets opened up. And then she showed me the queue. She was number 15,000 something in queue for the Tampa show. What the entire fuck? And then she looked, and people were already reselling tickets for like $5,000 online. There has to be a better way. There absolutely has to be a better way, because that is not only just so deflating, but it makes tickets unaffordable for people who are true fans who buy up all the fucking tickets. And then the only thing that's left are like scalp tickets that are God only knows how much, and they're up in the nosebleed seats. That was just so disappointing. That was real fucked up. Bruno, can you do something? Please? Somebody please tag Bruno. Tag Bruno and just say, Bruno, what the fuck? Can you do something, Bruno? Michelle and I are trying to go to the concert. We are starting to see, I'm hearing stories already about social media being curated so that there will be less voices of dissent being heard. Make sure that you subscribe on all social media platforms. I am at Rich Spencer on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, repost videos, because the more that we get voices of dissent out there, the more that people realize that they are less alone. The bots are loud. Let our voices be louder. And on that note, thank you for listening to the Rich Spencer podcast. You can listen to the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please like, share the clips from this podcast on your social media platforms. Find me on all social media platforms at Rich Spencer. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.